Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Dan Radio Show. Tonight, we're drinking some scotch tonight. We got the Famous Grouse, and we also got two guests on here, because fuck it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that whole show. Anyway, I got two guests. Outlaw's been on the show, and he decided to come back. I don't know why. This place sucks. It's dog shit. And then we got a new fella, a longtime friend, first time on the show, because fucker never comes around, Mr. Banana Hammock.
You know, we holding it down for that east side, Lake Hawkins. You know what I'm saying? We made it.
We made it. Yes, we did. All right. Have y'all had your first sip?
It tastes like I'm drinking nails at a chicken shit out.
You don't like scotch?
I do.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's I think the bottle was about $24, and it's just for a fifth of it. It's called the Famous Grouse. It's got a grouse on it. It's like Johnny Walker, but without the pain.
You're telling me that's not a chicken?
That's not a chicken.
I literally thought that was some sort of pheasant, honestly.
It's a grouse.
You're just making up animals.
Son of a bitch. Okay. This is going to be a shit show.
Oh, yeah. This shit's going down easy, so it's going to get really shitty really quick.
That's what the big ice is for. Also, my lovely listeners, please bear with me. We're going to be experiencing some technical shit we're trying to work through. So we only have two mics between the three of us. So if they're a little quieter, I can back off and you can turn up your volume a little bit. If not, you can just fucking deal with it. Whatever. Point it. Famous. I like this. My dad's friend picked up the Famous Grouse a while back, and I didn't get a chance to try it. But being a big fan of scotch that I am, picked it up, and I'm actually really pleased with it. This is the first time I actually cracked the seal on it, just because I've been waiting on to do it for a show, and I just want to drink the whole bottle before I get it. Because I'll go through a fifth very quickly.
Why do they call it a fifth?
I have no idea.
Really?
No idea.
So, Mr. Whiskey Dan, you're a big Scotch guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Irish whiskey guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Scotch and Irish? Well, I mean, Irish whiskey is a little more, I would say it's not as rough as Scotch would, like a sweeter taste, I guess. Is that what you're...
Scotch typically, because I know this, I don't know so much the Irish whiskey making process, but the Scotch making process, they take, because there's like a lot of peat and like moss and like boggy areas there. They take the peat from that and they make like little clay bricks out of it, and they use that to smoke and get that smoky flavor that Scotch has. And they also use that bog water. So it's like real it's real nasty water, and they use the bog water to make the Scotch.
Maybe that's why it's as rough.
Also, like the Picts, they're called Picts, P-I-T-C. That was like the people group that lived in that area, like, you know, in like 400 AD.
Is that what they prefer to be called?
I assume. But they
are you appropriating their gender?
But what they did, they would take like dead bodies and like prisoners and stuff, and they'd throw them in the bog water that we currently make scotch out of.
So what you're saying is, drinking scotch is pretty gay.
Yeah,
because there's some dudes cum in there at some point in time.
Fuck, son of a bitch. All right. First thing on the docket. All right. So, if you listen to the most recent episode with Ashley, you heard that I'm part of a Discord chat now, and we're called Aquaberry Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, we're both in on that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but they don't know that.
Oh,
the listeners. God, do you not understand how shows work?
I think he thinks that we're the only listeners.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Good thing it's only audio. No, yeah, so we're on that, and we have a channel on that Discord called Edgelord Content, and I just post a bunch of Rule 34 shit that just ruined your adolescence. That's like all I fucking do on it. It's mostly Teen Titans porn. But I do have a rule about it. Like, it can't just be like straight up nudity or like straight up porn. It's got to be like incredibly suggestive, but not like everything's covered, but just barely. And that's what makes it tasteful.
And I'm gonna just put this in too. And if y'all don't like it, y'all can get fucked. and I will purposely fight everyone out front of the Whiskey Dan studio.
Damn.
2D women are exponentially superior than 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever other dimension Elon Musk comes up with. They're way superior in every shape and fashion.
Oh, God. He's not wrong, because 2D women can't argue with you. So,
And they got them big old bangaroos.
yeah. 2D women can have Khazar milkers and no back problems.
Exactly. It's the perfect female. Like, that is how we know as a race that we have achieved peak evolution.
See, and this is why, like, Japanese men or Japanese, people aren't having as many kids, because, like, they're just overrun with 2D women. Like, why would you bother buying a woman a drink when you can just go home and just whack your dong to, like, whatever 2D fantasy you desire?
And one of my favorite animes, it's close second to this new one that I just watched, but it's Kill la Kill. It's a great story. It's definitely...
Wow. Listen to this fucking weeb.
It's definitely... It's you can't take it seriously because it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and kind of a shit show. It's supposed to be a comedy, but it has a very good storyline and very good characters. But the best thing about Kill la Kill is they have these things called kamuis that the two main characters, the antagonist and protagonist, wear. And when they transform from their little sailor uniforms, it's in like the most BDSM scantily clad shit ever. And it like shows it running up them and it's...
Pull that up, Jamie.
It's... Fuck. It's exciting.
You know what? Nobody ever says please to Jamie.
Please,
They
Jamie.
don't.
Yeah, like okay. For those that don't watch the Joe Rogan Experience, Jamie is like their tech guy. I don't have that because I don't have a fucking budget for the show. But Jamie is like the tech guy, and they'll have like a guest on there that like probably like knows him, but they're not like super cool. And they're like, "Hey man, pull up that shit, bitch, and do it quick." And it's like you know he's a person, right? Like he's right fucking there. Quit being a dick.
He
So-
might be a robot.
So anyhow, what I was getting back to my 2D women, it's hard for me to watch like half an episode without having the urge to masturbate. It's very hard.
Isn't that why you're running late today? Because you watched an episode, you're like, I gotta finish this.
Yes.
What is the costume called?
Common way. I don't know how you fucking spell that. I can barely spell English words. I'm sure it has a fucking... That's like Conway Twitty.
Hello, darling.
I think it's a whole different kind of turn on.
Just put
Costume?
No,
No,
just put
but that's
Ryoku. Or however the Ryoko, I can't remember.
Outlaw, if you're gonna talk, you gotta lean into the mic, dude.
But
I'm
Yeah.
right here.
so
Yeah,
so
like you gotta be like
okay,
right in
okay.
front of it.
So the one that's my next second and definitely top 2D best girl is Darling in the Franks.
Is that?
Yes. That is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Let me find a better one.
Look, they even make pillows already.
Okay,
That's not surprising.
Darling in the Franks. I don't like big mecha stuff. Oh my gosh!
I told you.
Oh, we might have to wrap. We might have to wrap this episode up quick.
So with Darling in the Franks, like, first off, the amount of sexual tension throughout that whole fucking show is insane.
But she has little devil horns. It's weird.
It doesn't matter.
That's cool,
0
man.
2, like, I'm telling you right now, Lauren, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
She ain't.
If 0 2 becomes a real thing, like, pack your shit, babe.
Oh,
Get out.
okay. So
Or if she does.
so since y'all brought that up, or since Banana Hammock brought it up, Outlaw's just doing our fact checking. Makes me. Oh my damn!
Nice.
That's a whole lot of
Okay,
titty.
look up Satsuki, which is the antagonist. Like,
Say it again.
Satsuki.
Man, spell it, retard.
You know that spelling is not my strong
Satsuki.
suit. Well, it's Satsuki Kiryuni. But anyhow,
God, listen to this.
Lauren-
fucking-
Weeb.
Lauren got mad. I was watching it, and I was watching it in bed. I was like, look, babe, it's you. But, like, she always, like, if Lauren cosplayed this woman, like, we'd be good. She'd be the next Jessica Negri, or however you say her last name. Like, we would, like, she would fit it. But she was like, she looks mean. And I'm like, we got to think about the big bucks, babe.
See, that brings me to my next topic. How do y'all feel about like role play sex?
I'm perfectly okay with it as long as genders are not swapped. I am not getting pegged in the butt.
So you're saying like you wouldn't let her dress up as Link and then you play Zelda?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm the only one there. Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Very impressive.
Okay. So, Outlaw, how do you...
She kind of looks like Lauren.
I'll go with that. Like the Asian version.
Wow, that's... Okay, so if y'all need to pause and look that up real quick and then spank one out, you're more welcome to. You can take care of that. We're just going to be drinking. But like role play sex, like, do you want to like create your own fantasy or do you want to like dress up as like something else?
No, I've been trying to get Lauren to put cat ears on for about the entirety of our relationship, and it still hasn't happened.
Why haven't I thought about that yet?
That's creepy.
I'm very surprised you haven't. Cat girls are almost the superior 2D women besides Klaxazor women, which is what 02 is.
Jesus Christ.
So, dude, I'm telling you, ever since I moved and I don't have y'all to hang around, like all I've been filling that void with is scantily clad anime women.
Dude, how big's your Yu-Gi-Oh collection right now, dog?
Ooh, I found mine in the
I would just say, like,
I got a pretty solid
get
deck.
your biggest binder, times it by 5.
Oh, man.
I got that right arm of the forbidden one, if you know what I'm saying.
That's too much.
See, I'm a fan of roleplay sex, but I don't want to dress up as like some other character. I want to put myself in like a situation. You know what I'm talking about?
Like what?
Like, I'm trying to buy this house, and if, I get her to blow me, then I'll give her, or I'm trying to sell a house, and if I can like, I'll give you like 10 grand off if you like pop out a titty, like that kind of shit.
So what you're saying is like the standard consumer porn, pretty much. Like,
yeah, but like real
property,
life.
sex, family therapy.
Whoa, family, get the no. There is no fucking way.
So what you're saying is you essentially want to role play as Johnny Sins.
I'm just a short version of him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you got the bald head.
I think you're more hairy.
And the dong.
You don't have the dong.
Can confirm.
Kid, good for.
Well, that's a Texas tie. It's 10-4 there, bud.
It's a Texas size 10-4 there. But no, point being, like I like to do that, and I like to do the ones. I don't know. I like situational stuff, but not stepsister shit. That's fucking weird. And you need to quit making it.
Okay, so I'm gonna just throw this out here. I hate it when you're scrolling through porn,
as one does.
As one does. You're like 20 pages deep. You're being picky.
You just can't find
it's not one of those nights where it's like click the first one, you use the sounds, you're done, you go to bed. It's like you want to consume the perfect porn video, like cream of the crop, at least for that night.
Ugh.
And so you scroll and scroll, pages after pages after pages, ad blocker after ad blocker after ad blocker, till you find the thumbnail that just resonates with your soul and cock.
Have y'all ever been like so tripped up like where you see like an ad for a porno like on the bottom?
You almost click
Yes.
it.
No. Did you go on like a deep dive like fucking SEAL Team 6 trying to find where that fucking? Then you find it and you watch it and you're just like completely underwhelmed and you're like, man, they got the best 10 seconds and made a GIF out of that. And I was like, I want my time back. I want to go to church now. This is terrible. Why did I spend so much time trying to watch porn?
So you find the perfect thumbnail. Doesn't really have much of a description except, the typical, like, MILF gets raw dogged or whatever, So you start watching it, and you're like, hell yeah. You get about the middle of it, and they drop the M-bomb.
What's the M-bomb?
Oh, Mom, your pussy's so good. And just boner killer. Done. Exit out of it. Burn my phone. Go on a, 52-week quest of being a monk. Because that shit is terrible. Like, it's the ultimate... It's like the ultimate sin for me. Like...
Banging your mom?
Yes.
Yeah, it probably should be.
Well, yeah.
And if it's not on your list of sins, you need to reevaluate your life.
Unless you're from Alabama.
Actually, Washington State has the highest rate of incest.
That's what people from Alabama want you to think.
It's like when dumb people say, I got street smarts. Like, shut up, retard. You just want to say that about yourself because you know how to sew crack.
You can't even do that good, bud.
Yeah.
You sold me some rock salts.
Honestly, I could never do an upper.
Me neither.
I'm definitely like, if I give me some of that sweet-ass black tar heroin, I might smoke it.
I'm definitely a downer guy. Like, well, just like when me and you were around each other.
And then all that time we did all those, Oxycontin. We never did that.
We didn't, but
we
we always, like, even in the first of, like, yours and your lady friend's relationship, that was one thing she said. It's like when y'all two get together, y'all amp and ag each other on too much. Like, you'll get too out of control, which is very true.
Yeah, that's how I ran face first into a wall.
It is
Your
because
wall
you tried to,
in your yard.
Because you tried to jump on my roof
I
after
could have
saying
swore I could have done it.
after saying fuck Isaac Newton.
I didn't hear
So-
about this.
All right.
Oh, he got crossfaded. It was
yeah,
hilarious.
Oh.
it was the first time I ever did.
I remember that.
And then he was laying on the grass after saying fuck Isaac Newton and running into my brick wall. He was saying, "Oh, someone get Isaac Newton back to reinvent gravity."
Hey, shit was going sideways. I just remember like laying on like I could feel like the dew of the grass, and I was like, man, we need to get one of them like trench diggers, like for like putting in like cables and stuff underground. So we need to do that. Start digging a trench in your front yard and just like relive World War I. We could do it like right here.
For the listeners that don't know, like y'all don't know my name.
And
which
Banana
is
Hammock
good.
used to live in a trap house.
Okay, so here's the deal. I got a really good deal on the house. Okay, granted, no one lived in it for 2 years. 10, sorry, not 2. But it was 3 acres, heavily wooded, 2,000 square foot house. Like, it just needed some love.
Basically, Lane Staley was still alive when somebody lived in that house.
Pretty much.
And then he
Like-
moved into it in like the mid 20-teens.
And so, granted, a lot of the upgrades, I guess you could say, to the house were done while completely belligerent, because that's the only way I could get free labor. And then, at the same time, a lot of debauchery happened in that house.
Oh, just like nasty shit.
Because,
Like, one time a chick took a shit on the floor and some dude ate it.
no.
It was
not
crazy
that
shit.
bad. Not that bad.
Those were dogs.
Unless you're talking about when Macy took a shit and Meatloaf ate it. Then
Yeah.
But, so anyhow, like,
R.I.P. to a real one. Me
that for real, R.I.P.
Pour some out for
Reverend
me,
Hart, for real.
Please don't. I don't want to clean it up.
But anyhow, so this house, because like Dan, Outlaw, and a few of the other friends, they either still lived with their parents or they were living in rented apartments and stuff. So my house became like the party house. Not necessarily the party house, but we'd all hang out there because, hey, you want to go burn some shit? Yeah, let's go burn some shit. Like, hey, you want to cut a tree down? Yeah, let's cut a tree down. Hey, you want to go to the abandoned mobile home behind my house? Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
there. Like the funniest thing about that mobile home. First off, like,
Wasn't that your childhood home?
Yes, that's where like me and my mom grew up. It wasn't a bad mobile home. I mean, it was pretty run down, but it wasn't bad. Like, it was a humble house. But like, we went in there and like walls knocked out, like crackheads got all the copper, and someone was very proud that they went through a whole box of desensitizing condoms and stapled it to the wall. So that was
Do what?
You never saw the condom box?
Yeah, I
stapled
remember
to the
that.
wall?
I
Like,
remember
someone
you
was
showed
so
me that.
proud that they have to use desensitizing condoms so they don't ejac so fast.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also
Wait, they
found,
make those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you already bought them.
Send me the link.
And so also found a porn that it was like it was a porn parody of Hocus Pocus, I believe.
No.
Because it was witches, and so how they would steal your soul was by fucking you.
Why'd you
I
watch
mean,
it?
Well, I had a VHS player.
So I just pop fucker in.
It was terrible because, I mean, you could see as much, like, honestly, with today's R-rated movies, you see more than what that actual porno showed you. Like, it showed more titty, but that was about it. Like, there was no, like, it's like, might as well watch Wreck-It Ralph, you know?
Well, he was wrecking it.
I'm a wreck it.
I remember that one time you had that one like porn on DVD,
Oh, yeah.
and then I was like, man, let's pop this fucker in.
What the fuck did that dude say?
I don't remember.
We used to say it all the time.
I know.
Because
Earl could say it. I guarantee it. Earl could say
God.
Text him, see if you remember.
it. He probably won't reply.
But it was this porno that when my uncle was cleaning out his house, he was like, "Here, take this before your aunt sees it." I'm like, "Okay." And so we ended up watching it. And the name of it was Filthy Little Whore.
Yeah. And
And
the
it
name
was-
was Mary Carey.
Mary Carey.
Yeah.
And she wasn't that good looking.
But she had some Khazar milkers.
She did. But the dude, imagine Antonio Banderas and Tarzan mixed together. That's what this guy looked like.
That's
Oh
nice.
no, he just said, "Oh fuck," that's all it was. But like
Like
she
it was like the way he said it.
yeah, she was sucking on me and go, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, I remember now.
We started watching it, and then we just replayed that scene about 10 times.
Well, see, like what happened? Like I went over to Banana Hammock's house, and I had like a 6-pack of Ziggin or some shit, and cracked one open. You're like, dude, you got to see this shit. I thought it was gonna show me some like shit on YouTube. Like you just like threw a fucking porno video in, and I'm like, all right, I guess that's what I'm doing on a Tuesday night. And then like you just showed me that one bit.
Also, for those that don't know, I have a very extensive DVD collection. Not necessarily because I'm a collector's item, like collector type item deal, but mainly because, hey, there it is.
That's it.
on
Yep. That's
Amazon.
fucking. Send me that
It's
link.
currently unavailable, though.
Send me that link though.
Damn.
I need to put that in the episode.
I'm sure
description.
you can find it on Pornhub.
Oh yeah, I did.
But nice. But anyhow, so it was mainly out of necessity. I acquired a lot of DVDs just because it was the easiest. Like, honestly, if we're being realistic, I kept Hastings in business for like the last 2 years of their
Existence.
So, and Dan can attest to this. Like, anytime we hung out, we went to Hastings.
Mm-hmm.
So, R.I.P. to a
Then
legend.
it died.
Can we get an F in the chat? For
Yeah.
Hastings.
F in the
F.
chat.
So, anyhow, I had a lot of DVDs, and that house that I bought wasn't far enough away to where I couldn't get internet, but it was entirely enshrouded by like 50-foot pine trees. So, anyone that could put an antenna in my yard to give me internet immediately got to my house and just like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. So my last resort was either HughesNet, which no, or
Garbage.
they could shoot a line of fiber to my house for $350 a month for 2 years.
Yeah.
So no, we just watched DVDs and watched the same season of South Park like 80 times.
Yeah, that's like me with Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I just keep watching this. I mean, now I have a lot more seasons, but first of all, if you ain't watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force, frankly, what the fuck you doing with your
They
life?
still making new episodes?
No, they stopped a while back. It's a great show, though.
Master Shake is my spirit animal.
Master Shake's a fucking dick.
Exactly.
Ah, shit. So Banana Hammock here works in the dirt business, so to speak.
Yes.
Well, it's a sand plant, and the sand, from what I understand, is for fracking, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
But you know, fracking causes earthquakes, right?
Allegedly.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all on the whole frac sand deal. I'm a journeyman electrician by career and by trade. Okay, so I specialize in automation controls for plants, factories, whether it be sand plants, lime plants,
Fucking nerd, am I right?
asphalt plants, etc. So I have been in the electrical service industry for industrial type applications since I turned 20 pretty much. And before that, I was in the more residential commercial stuff because Dad started me out at the ripe age of 12 because he said I need to get a fucking job and quit freeloading. So
It's like, Dad, I can't even play high school baseball yet.
exactly. So
Don't give me
anyhow,
shit. Go give me that 4 gauge.
So, last year I actually moved down to the College Station area and became the in-house electrician and lead maintenance at this frac sand plant. I'm
No
gonna be
fracking way.
I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. once it leaves the silos in a truck, I have no fucking idea what happens to it.
It goes
All I
back
know,
in the ground.
all I know is they shoot that shit in the hole.
I have no idea how to do that.
Weak.
But there's always like the people that are like, oh man, but it causes earthquakes. Like maybe
Does it?
does it? Like prove
I
it.
mean, I'm just saying, I've lived in a lot of oil patches, and you know how many earthquakes I've been in? 0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tell everyone when they want to get into that, I'm like, look, I refine sand. when it goes past that point, when it goes past washing and sorting sand and heating it up to 400 degrees and then resorting it and loading it into the truck, I have no earthly idea enough to make a valid argument as far as that goes. All I know is that I love controls and automation.
and I
there's
like driving a dump truck.
Yeah. And loaders and track hose and all kinds of shit. And I enjoy my job because I was getting very tired with just straight electrical work. I love controls and everything, but it is tedious and it gets old after a while. You get almost jaded.
Well, and you're no longer doing fucking like residential shit where you're like going to somebody's
Exactly.
like shithole house and
Like-
can you replace my fan, please?
and you know the whole, and I still go, oh, well, the customer's always, you know what? Fuck the customer. Sometimes the customer's just an asshole.
Or a retard.
Yeah, or both.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a retarded asshole.
Just want to point that out.
Oof.
How do y'all feel about oil field bailouts?
Like what?
Because like a lot of companies and shit, like a lot of people are like, we're not going to bail out oil field companies because they always make money, but they don't realize that if those companies don't exist, we're not like that employs 40% of our state, so to speak. Like whether it be directly through oil field or with a company that uses those products to turn a profit.
I mean, I'm not educated enough in the political and economic sides of bailouts to, like, I'm not going to argue with someone.
No
over
one
it,
is, but people argue about it all the fucking time.
Right.
That's what this
Like,
show's about.
I'll discuss with people about it, but like I'll straight up tell them like, look, this is just my personal opinion. I can't tell you 100% yes or no. You're wrong. I'm right. Whatever. But I think oil field companies get picked out a lot when it comes to bailouts, just because oil's a very controversial subject.
Yeah.
Whether from the workers to the environmental impact to how much the entire fucking world depends on it, that I believe that there's a lot of other companies taking bailouts as well. They just don't get media time because it's not a controversial subject. Like if Apple took a giant bailout, the same people that are like, oh, oil field companies should have made bailouts because they make money, they're still going to buy iPhones.
Yeah.
It's not, they're going to overlook that. It's all about what is the trending, well, I'm against oil, so everything oil I'm against.
What do you think your iPhone's made out of?
Mm-hmm.
Chinese labor.
Yeah.
Chinese labor.
That's why they're still expensive.
I know.
But so what I'm getting at with that is, I guess, is the whole saying, like, you have one finger pointing at the other person, but 4 pointing back at you. Three.
How many fingers you got, boy?
7 on each hand. So anyhow, you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's a catch-22 situation where, yes, you can. And the people that get me are the activists to be activists and the environmentalists to be environmentalists. They don't know shit about what they're promoting or they're having a quote-unquote vice for or whatever. They're just hopping on the bandwagon of this is what the new counterculture
Because
is
they want to
today.
feel important.
Right. And so those people are very depressing to be around. I just don't like being around them because no matter what you bring, it's just like a lot of people that are vegan. Not all people are vegan. My brother, he was a devout vegan for a very good stint, but it's just like, hey, I got this cool vegan recipe. Like he was more into like the food craft part of it.
Yeah,
Not necessarily the lifestyle.
The holier than thou.
Where his ex-wife was definitely I'm better than you because I don't eat meat or cheese or anything else. But I caught her drinking whole milk one time and I held that shit over her head.
You fucking oughta.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Huh? My brother Preston. Y'all have never met Preston.
I didn't
Told you
know
about
you
him.
had a brother.
Yeah.
What? He's got two.
He's got a master's
I know the
degree.
little one.
He's got a master's degree in philosophy.
Oh.
But
those
he-
kind of brother.
Yeah, but he worked for UPS in college, and then
On your dad's side? Or, or your
my
stepdad?
Brian's.
Really?
Yeah, and so he worked at UPS because they have a very good turnover rate, and they pay very good, and they're very flexible with college kids' schedules. And so, like, he got in the logistics department and was with them for forever. Now he's with a different logistics company, making probably more money than I could ever imagine. So,
Damn.
but
With a philosophy degree?
yeah, like, he doesn't use his degree. It just makes picking a place to eat with him extremely hard to figure out.
It's like, dude, I just want a fucking burger, man.
But why? Why in the cosmos are you derived deep in your soul to choose Outback Steakhouse? Because the blooming onions are the shit,
That's
bub.
not a knife. This is a knife. Now, the problem that I have with like people that are like super big on like liberal arts and shit like that, it's like like that's great that you're going to school, but if you're going to school just to find yourself, you're just going to find yourself in a shitload of debt, and you could have just not gone to school and just worked at it somewhere.
And on a lot of antidepressants.
Yeah. Do you ever think that we have like a huge issue with like self-diagnosis? Like, I have crippling depression because I want to be
Yes.
special. So they do that, and then it just turns into shit. And then now it's like, oh, well, this is why depression rates are as high as shit right now. It's like, no, because everybody says that they have it.
Well, that's the deal. A lot of people. Now, I'm grateful that, you know, anxiety, depression, and everything, they are very real things, and they have come to light a lot in the past few years. But at being the same time, there's a lot of people that, well, there is people that are open with sharing their stories, which is great because that lets the people that actually, you know, do have depression or anxiety know, like, hey, look, this person's got their shit together. Like, I can get to that point too. I just got to tough through these tough times. But most people use it as a platform for attention. Oh, well, my depression said, and then everyone's like, oh, you poor baby. Why don't you take some Xanax? Well, no.
It's like, how about you drink some fucking orange juice and go for a walk?
Right.
You'll probably be okay.
No, I want to burn my sage that you can get on my Amazon wish list that I'm sponsored by. It's that shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I am dating a girl that's a little bit younger than me.
A little bit.
Shut up. Anyhow.
Okay. She is of legal age.
Yes, she's 19.
Now.
She was when we started dating, Ashley.
False.
Yes, she was.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Yeah. Pull up the fucking records and whatever that phrase is that means you can have sex with people this age.
Whoa.
Okay, we're getting some strong libertarian vibes now. It's like, okay.
Age of consent. That's what I was looking for. So anyhow.
Some people, that's subjective.
So, like, and Dan can back me up on this. So, like,
whoa, hang on, don't throw me into this.
No, I'm talking about YouTube. So the YouTube culture that, like, me and Dan grew up in was, like, Filthy Frank, iDubbbz, you know, before the whole...
JonTron before he moved to New York.
Right. Before the whole, you know, Vine, TikTok, everyone streaming Fortnite or some sort of bullshit battle royale game that's just a skin pack over it.
He's not wrong.
And before the whole life hack, beauty blend shit.
Life hack! I missed that
so-
Filthy Frank video.
Really, the only reason I get on YouTube is, like, conspiracy theories, fandom lore, or why the fuck won't work after I did everything to it.
There's like so much shit on my Ranger that I fixed. Is like some guy on YouTube like, hey man, so my pickup fucking up, so then I put a paperclip in the exhaust.
And it's always someone that it's like, how the fuck did you even operate a computer?
No, like because like YouTube has a deal, or they had a deal where you could like do like a little short video on your phone. Like these motherfuckers record free, like the picture quality's terrible, and like the guys are like butt fucking nowhere, Iowa. And he's like, yeah, man, there's my cornfield. But anyway, so here's your catalytic converter. I done deleted mine. But
if you can't see good, this is because this is my son's Connect.
yeah. He's using a PS2 iToy to record the fucking thing.
But, so anyhow, what I was getting at is that, like, the generation that my girlfriend is in, she's very much in the YouTube generation of influencers, the like Jake Paul, Rice Gum, all that shit. That pretty much like the YouTubers that we watch all shit on.
Beasts. Terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck 'em.
And so, I'll come home from work and she's watching YouTube videos, whether it be makeup videos, that's predominantly what she watches. But in every single one, well, my anxiety got so bad. I'm like, I'm gonna say it. Like, not all y'all motherfuckers have anxiety. Like,
no, everybody has it. They don't have an anxiety issue.
Right.
There's a difference.
That's
Like
better.
you get anxiety. I get anxiety when I have to go to work, and then like that group of people comes into work, and I'm just like, God damn it. Like, can they just not come in right now? Like 10 minutes before work, I get a little anxious. 10 minutes before work ends because I want to go the fuck home. Anxiety is where it's like, yeah, I'm just grocery shopping, looking at apples, and what if mom dies? And you just like have like that kind of thing, and you just like fucking like that is an anxiety disorder. Everybody has anxiety.
Exactly, and then medicine is produced
In China.
Yes,
We need a great United States of America.
Medicine, or for all you little folks, marijuana has greatly helped with that. And so
he's not wrong.
But once again, my whole thing is, it's a platform. It's a platform to say, look at my fucked up mental illnesses and give me money for being a strong person on these mental illnesses that I don't have, that the average person probably deals with on a daily basis. I didn't know what the fuck anxiety was until I was 23.
And I couldn't shit for 4 days.
I don't think that was it.
That happens to me. You get like all worked up. Can't shit.
Y'all remember my super depresso phase? Like,
aren't you still going through it?
Always. we part of that sad boy gang for life.
God.
Sad boy crew. I actually got one of their stickers on the back glass of all my vehicles. So R.I.P.
Sad boy
to me. So anyhow, the whole deal with it. What I was getting at was, so I was going through all this, and my mom, this went on for like 6 months, and I only lived like 10 minutes from my parents, and, I was over there every weekend, and we were very close. Well, during that 6 months, like, I hardly ever saw them. Yeah. And so my mom knew that was out of character, and she finally was like, look, you're going to the therapist, whether you like it or not. You got some crap going on. All you do is go to the gym, very scarily ride your motorcycle, and post sad lyrics on everything. And I'm like, true. Stop trying to ruin my brand, Mom. So
you don't understand what I'm going through.
It's not just a phase.
It's not just a phase.
It's my ninja way.
It's my emo ways. You don't understand why I have to blare A Day to Remember all night long.
Oh, God, what a terrible band.
They're all right.
They're not awesome.
They're all right. So anyhow... And so I went to the, and it's actually become my primary care physician for other things. But on top of other things...
Erectile dysfunction.
No.
Yes.
Maybe. But anyhow, so I just want y'all a nice healthy one that does regularly exercise without any needed help, probably too much.
So if you're taking notes, Banana Hammock has a vigorous penis. If that's what we're going with here.
They don't call me Banana Hammock for a reason, bud.
For no reason.
Yeah, no reason. Oops.
So blue collar workers. God.
Exactly, bro. Hey, but this is going to be the funniest episode ever. So
is it?
Objectively. So anyhow.
Look at his mouse pad, bro.
I know. It's a big old anime ass. I buried my
Raven?
face in it.
No.
Dude, that's what I'm getting you for your birthday.
It's a girl from... How to Be a Boring Boyfriend. And
you call me a fucking weeb. At least I watch the cool shit. You're getting into like the normal life ones.
Yeah, like the slice of life ones where it's like bro, at episode 447 he goes to the DMV. It's so good. Dude, like, how come there's so many anime like shows where it's like it's like Seinfeld, but it's not funny because I don't understand Japanese humor.
And then or like I saw one the other day when I was scrolling that it was like how to not pick up girls in a dungeon. I'm like, well, first off, if they're in a dungeon, they're probably pretty gross, so you probably don't want to have sex with them.
Grimy.
Secondly, if it's your dungeon, they don't want to have sex with you willingly. Like, why?
Well, this is Japan, and consent laws are different.
Tentacles.
There's no bullshit. There is an anime that is called Girls und Panzer, and it's no fucking.
Oh, where they're in the tanks.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
like it's like high school girls, and they're in like a German tank, like a Panzer, and then like there's some other like girl, and they're like 15 years old, and they're like driving like a Soviet T-34, and they're like trying to blow each other up or some shit, and then like it zooms out, and they're on a giant aircraft carrier.
Really?
Yeah, like the whole thing takes place on an
Nice.
aircraft carrier or a tank carrier. I don't fucking whatever.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a tank
Yeah,
carrier at that point.
but it's just like what? Why? Like this right here proves the 2 nukes weren't enough.
Maybe that's what's wrong with them.
That radiation leaking in.
I guess I don't.
So anyhow, back to what we were talking about. Like, I didn't know what anxiety was, and then like my primary care physician started asking me these questions, and I'm like, why are you asking all these questions, Miss Lady?
Making statements.
assuming.
And so and one of the things that kind of made me realize, like, oh, well, maybe, I have a little bit of something or whatever was, and by the way, this is a private care practice, so they're not influenced by big pharma or insurance companies to be like, hey, someone said they chipped their fingernail, give them hydros so they can develop a crippling addiction,
Is that real?
Yes. And so, anyhow, she said, so if you're in the grocery store and you go to pay and your card takes a little bit longer to, get approved, do you feel restless? I was like, yeah, I freak the fuck out. And she's like, okay. And she like wrote something down. I'm like, what the fuck are you writing in your notebook? And the last question she asked me, she's like, have you been on edge about what I've been writing in my notebook? And I'm like,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And she's like, do you want to see it? I was like, yes, it's killing me. And she like turns around and it was like scribbles and doodles and shit. And I was like, this bitch done played me.
I've been bamboozled.
And so anyhow, that's when she's like, I don't think you have what we would call like a crippling anxiety, but you definitely have like a situational anxiety. She's like, it seems to be a little more than the standard of because like what you said, everyone has it. Everyone in those situations are going to have it to an extent. But she said, I could tell how you are. Like, you take all the skin off your fingers near your fingernails and stuff. She's like, take this, see how it works. I mean, I don't use it anymore because I've gotten a better control over it. And, I'm thankful for that I'm not dependent on that. But there is a lot of people that I think.
There are a lot of people.
Okay, Mom. Miss Holcomb.
Oh, man.
Name drop. Anyhow, Miss Holcomb was a really short English teacher we had. She's like the only woman that's ever made me feel like a giant.
Yeah. For reference, Banana Hammock's like 5'4" with boots on.
Hey, fuck you. We're the same height.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
I'm like,
we've already proved this.
Look, I'm half
We're the
an inch
same
taller.
fucking height.
I know half an inch.
We're the same fucking height. Remember, Burly Boys World Tour.
Yeah, I know.
2016? It was definitely 2016.
Man, it's
I think it
always.
was 17.
Yeah.
when we go to
Man, it
Riff
might have been
Raff,
50. We did it for like 3 years.
We did. Like every time we got drunk at the trap house.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Summer 2016. I know there's a lot of.
I think I was sober less days than I was inebriated.
Well, the deal with summer 2016, like I know it's the cliche, looking for revenge and 2K16, Drake, all that shit. But summer 2016 was the peak of my depression. But I look back at it and it's some of the fondest memories of my life.
Peak of my depression, also peak of my debauchery.
Exactly. I think
I'm pretty sure I put my
For
dick
all
out in
of us.
public more times that year than all other years combined.
for all of us, I think all of us at this table.
Yep.
Not a coincidence. They met at the Super Ones in the frozen food section.
It was a meet cute.
What?
What?
The first time I met Ashley, I didn't even know she existed. I just saw a girl with short hair, and I was belligerently drunk. And apparently, yeah,
You yell.
yeah, it was bad. And she thought I was some dumbass redneck.
Yeah.
Yeah, still does.
Oh well. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. Outlaw here recently. He's always been known for his wheeling and dealing, and he had recently traded a rifle for a tractor.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me just okay? I gotta know how this went down.
I just want to go on the record and say this is some bullshit.
We were at the races, and
Drag racing.
Yeah, drag racing. And part of my anxiety, I check Facebook Marketplace like literally every 30
You're
minutes.
doing it like right when we got on the show.
Yeah, I was on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I won't even have any money. And I'll be looking on there like,
Like, oh shit,
If
that's
I
only
could-
that's
if I
only
could somehow-
$4,300.
yeah, if I could somehow get this, I could turn it into this. Well,
I do the same thing, so I feel you.
this guy posted a tractor and it's ugly as sin. So I click on it anyways. And sure enough, as a tractor, it said, I think $500 or trade. So I was like, well, I just took a chainsaw in on trade. Let me offer him this. So I offered him, and he said, I don't really have a use for that. And I was thinking, well, I've got a AK. I'll trade. And he said, now we're talking. So I said,
That man is going to commit a felony with that fucking thing.
yeah, I don't do background checks. Who cares? No, I wiped them off.
So he gave it to him in gloves, you know.
Yeah, I never even met the guy because I was at the races, and he drove from Yantis and dropped it off at my house.
That's why.
They and the tractor runs.
Yeah, it runs out of a diesel jug. The fuel tank is rusty.
So you just have a jug just dripping into the motor. That's
So
pretty great.
he traded great Soviet
Yeah.
Russian firearm for great Soviet tractor
Like-
to plow the fields of communism.
I'm not the first to ever trade an AK for a tractor, just the first over here to do it.
Yeah. like I guarantee you, like you're the first person, at least in Wood County, for like
Oh,
that
yeah.
to happen.
Oh, yeah,
Oh man. So, but it runs. It's. I mean, it needs work.
badly.
You still got a whole fucking tractor for
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
AK.
Lester said it looks like the tractors off of cars that they go tractor tipping on.
Oh man. Yeah,
It's ugly.
It's called a Belarus tractor.
Belarus.
Belarus, because like it's made in Russia, Belarusia,
Yeah.
over in that area, like the main headquarters. But the ones that are here, I actually looked into it, the ones that are here are made in Canada. And they
Nice.
ship them down, or they used to, because like I said, it's an old tractor, so it actually might have been made in the former Soviet Union.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is pretty interesting. I just
All
love
the instructions are in Russian.
Oh, really?
There's very crude pictures.
Just push the lever here to
Yeah.
lower implement, and then you plant potato.
You're gonna open it up like just some little nook and cranny, and there's gonna be a picture of Stalin with a little heart beside it.
Like, I was trying to figure out how to start it the other day. My dad was like, "Do you think it has a safety switch on the clutch?" I'm like, "No way. There's no safety switch on this thing at all."
Like, I guarantee you there ain't shit on this thing.
No. Hell no.
But some bitch run, and like you can't do much with pull like stumps with it right now. But
Yeah. I need some tires.
yeah, but it does. That's
But
fucking
I've got
crazy.
$500 in it.
500.
Or $550, I think.
Is that how much the AK? Would you spend on the AK?
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna shamelessly plug this in.
Go ahead.
If anybody has any use for a 1-inch drive air impact,
God dang it.
I have one for sale, brand new. So, funny thing about this air impact, the pawn shops won't even take it because they look at it and they're like, "This is a big ass impact." Then their little bitch compressor can't even turn it.
So I think it's broken.
No, they're just like, we
We don't have a use for it. It's too big.
They're like, you know,
It's like having a 14-inch dong. Like, yeah, it looks cool, but you can't use it. Like a girl's gonna look at that and be like, no. Like,
No.
I want to be a whole person after sex.
So
Like,
so the whole deal with it is like the pawn shops will look at it and they'll be like, "Well, we're interested. We'll give you like $75." I'm like, "This bitch is like $700 brand new," and they're like, "Well, we're gonna be honest with you. It's gonna sit on our shelf probably when we like run out of business.
Not my
Like,
problem.
no one's gonna come in here and be like, "Oh man, I hope you got a 1-inch impact up in this piece." Like, I even tried to sell it to a heavy machinery mechanic, and he looked at me and laughed because he's like, 3/4 as big as I use, man. I have no fucking use for that. And I'm like, why do they even make it? There's no reason to have a 1-inch impact.
what do you use it for?
He got it on trade.
Yeah.
A table saw, right?
Yep.
You should have kept a table saw then, man.
No, it was a piece of... I'm sure this guy fucking lifted this thing off of some crew truck or something that bought this 1-inch impact and then realized, I don't need this big fucking thing.
It's like, what do you even use it for?
Literally the only thing, like, we have one at the plant we use for taking up take-ups on the elevators, and take-ups are what moves your tail pulley to tighten your belt or loosen your belt. But, I mean, the tail pulley
Nerd.
is like, weighs like 3,000 pounds, and you have all thread that you have to thread up and down. So like you're not doing that shit by hand.
Oh yeah, you just it would take all fucking day.
And so like a 3/4 inch impact can do it. Like if it's brand new take ups, but that 1 inch is like like one ooga dooga on a lug nut would just like twist your frame on your truck. Like, no shit.
It's just like, well, I'm going to need a lot more than an upper control arm to fix this.
Like when I told you, like, I'll sell it to you and it has more torque than your truck, like, I'm not lying. It can put out, if you have, like, the extendo handle so you can hold the fucking thing, it can put out 1,080 foot-pounds of torque.
What if we, like, developed a transmission for it and put it on, like, a little go-kart frame?
That'd be so crazy.
And had like, a giant air tank? It just,
that would be insane.
But it'd be
we
cool.
do need to build another drift trike, though.
Okay, so...
Ooh.
55. Okay, we'll keep that.
Ooh.
So, Banana Hammock... I don't even know how the fuck you even got this fucking thing. It was a drift truck. Okay.
So
take a big wheel, make it metal, make the back wheels PVC, and then you sit in a little tractor seat.
And then it had a Harbor Freight Predator motor.
It had Harbor Freight Predator motor.
$100 a pop.
Let me tell you, if you ever play Mario Kart, like, just pick Wario and get him in the fattest fucking little deal and just do donuts. That's what that fucker, like, felt like.
It was phenomenal. So, anyway, me and my buddy James...
My buddy James and I.
Jeez.
So anyhow, now that that's over and I've wrecked his eardrums, we're both big into hot rods and all that good stuff. James has a few Model A's, etc., etc. And we went to the Pate swap meet, and it was in Texas Motor Speedway. It's the largest swap meet in Texas.
Yeehaw.
And there's just tons of, like, if you love hot rods, like, that's the place to be. There's tons of hot rods to buy, tons of parts, like, all kinds of shit. So anyway, I found this drift trike, talked the guy down. I think we bought it for like $150. So me and James refer to this as the weekend that never should have been.
Yeah, because you texted me the entire time, and I could see you're, like, progressively getting more and more inebriated.
So, because at 10 a.m., in the middle of March, and it was hot as fuck, we decided we were going to pound 4 Locos.
That's never a good idea.
And then we realized we don't have any water. All we have is beer. So we just drank beer. I passed out on top of the cooler, woke up, threw up in a porta potty, went and paid $12 for a fucking hot dog.
This is getting worse.
Oh, it gets way worse.
I'm going to throw up.
So anyhow, I drunkenly buy this drift trike, and me and James, it wouldn't start because something was fucked up with it. Come to find out, the engine block was cracked, but, you know, good old Harbor Freight.
Coming in clutch.
$100, and we were back in business. Anyhow, loaded in the back of my truck, and we go to his grandma's house. We're just chilling, and I'm thinking, all right, day's over. You know, it's like 7 o'clock. He's like, all right, we're going to the bar. And I'm like, fuck. So anyway, we go to the bar with his dad, and it's Park's Place. If you love dive bars in, like, the Dallas area, go to Park's Place. It's the shit. There was a guy there who talked like a pirate, and he kept saying, I'm going to give you $1 per daisy. It's some weird shit. So we got really fucked up there. Went with his dad to Waffle House at 3 a.m. Watched some bikers Watched some bikers get arrested. Our waitress only had a half a nostril on one side. And his dad kept asking her if she knows everybody.
Oh my god!
No.
Dead fucking serious.
How bad does the story get?
Oh, it gets worse. So anyhow, we wake up, we go home, sleep for like 2 hours, wake up at like 7. And start hauling ass towards Waco because I was buying a 1949 Ford shoebox.
Yeah.
Anyway, trading the guy a Model A front end and frame for it. Like, hell of a deal. Got a 302 Windsor with it and a flathead V8. Like, it was a great deal. Complete car. Needed a lot of work. So anyhow.
As Fords do.
Yes.
Hey, hold up, motherfucker.
Anyhow.
Is that it?
Because I was going to be like, I've only put a lot of parts back on that truck, damn it.
Two motors.
2 clutches.
So anyhow, we get to Waco. Well, first off, we stop at Check Stop, which is apparently famous for their kolaches or whatever, because James just had to have those fucking kolaches.
And you wouldn't shut
The
the fuck up,
line was outside the door to get these kolaches. Somehow he's in and out in 5 minutes. Don't know how. Like, suck dick, patted ass. I don't know. I was in line to use the bathroom for 30 minutes.
At the check stop.
Yeah.
Why don't you just piss outside?
It was a number 2, and I couldn't hold it.
Dude, just take a shit outside. What are they going to do? Like, hey, quit shitting. Like, give me a second.
They're going to be like, oh, it looks like my home country. So anyhow, I don't know how Czech people talk. So.
Like Germans, kind of.
Oh, okay. Well, they would have been cool with it then. Yeah. So anyhow, so we get to Waco. The guy, his name is Mark. He's super cool. He's super into hot rods and everything. Like, he's got a 4-door Galaxy right now that he just dailies like it's badass. So anyhow, we get the car loaded up and everything. Like, this is when I had my half-ton truck, so like the suspension was screaming at the weight of 2 motors and an entire car on a trailer. So
And a drift trike.
Like, it was insane. So
Please help me.
Oh fuck! I forgot one of the big parts. So in between the paint swap meet and Waffle House, we were at a gas station because I'm getting water because my kidneys are screaming, and there's this old man with like this bastardized like 29 Roadster turtle shell, but it's all from different eras. I mean, it's a cool looking fucking car, but I mean, it was just all over the place. Well, James gets to talking to him and is going to trade him 5-window coupe body for that entire car. Decent trade. 5-window coupes are pretty expensive, but what he had was unique and it was very cool. And
Yeah.
So anyhow, we're going down. What's the loop around Dallas? 635.
Yeah.
So we're going down 635, and like I'm going 10 miles under the speed limit. Like people are honking at me, all kinds of stuff. And this fucking old man is just slowly going back further and further. And James is getting pissed because the old fucker won't speed up. And so anyhow, I was just like, fuck it, James, we lost him. Oops, my bad. And so we went back to his grandparents' house, and then he's on the phone with him. So the old man finally gets there. We unload the car and start loading the body up. This old man just starts like going and grabbing shit out of his garage and shit, like rummaging, throwing it in the bed of his truck. And James is like, what the fuck are you doing, you old geriatric? And the old man looks at him. He's like, well, I'm getting all this. And he said, fuck no, that's not what we agreed on. And so anyhow, James threatens to kick this old dude's ass. And so the old dude finally leaves and everything. Well, then we find out he's like one of the most influential hot rod people in California. And I'm like, James, you almost just beat up the most influential hot rod person in California. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck that old motherfucker. So anyhow, that was the whole day. That shit sucked too. So anyway, got the car loaded up in Waco, headed home. We're in Corsicana at around 8 p.m. And my truck at a stoplight just starts going, check engine light, stability track, all kinds of shit goes off. And I'm like, what in the fuck? So O'Reilly's right there. Pull over. I'm like, it sounds like it just dropped a cylinder. And James is like, yeah, it definitely did. So we get to run the code, cylinder 6 misfire. Throw spark plugs, throw wires, throw injectors, intake gasket, all kinds of shit. Still doing it. And we're like, fuck. So at this point, it's like midnight. I call my dad. He's all pissed. He's like, you said you bought a car, just drive it home. I'm like, there's no motor in it. It's in the back of my truck.
Which is also why my truck's not working.
And then he said, well, Fred Flintstone that bitch, and then hung up.
Yeah. Dick.
So anyhow,
I'm 3 hours from home, dude. Just give me a hand.
Exactly. So anyhow, eventually he comes, loads my truck on the trailer. Another truck pulls that. We get home. Lifter did collapse. Had to rebuild the whole top end on my truck. So moral of the story is
2011. What now was it?
A GMC. You replaced your whole fucking motor. Fuck you.
I didn't have to. I could have just replaced one cylinder, but it was cheaper just to get a whole new motor.
Hey. Fuck you.
Oh,
shit.
You can't say his name.
I got it.
You have to do it again.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
gotta
fine.
restart.
No, I can just bleep
The whole show got to restart.
Let's restart it.
Beep.
it.
I feel like I'm on an episode of Adult Swim when they say fuck too much.
No, GMC just means got a mechanic coming, and then he came.
Fix it again, Tony.
GMC is gay man's Chevy.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be.
Yeah.
The point is, all vehicles are made the same nowadays. It's just what shitty car dealership do you want to deal with? Literally, they're all made the exact same.
Craigslist.
Cheap ass parts. Like you get
Marketplace.
pre 2007 and back. Yes, there is differences. After that, it's all the fucking same shit.
I want to get a dually Toyota Tundra and call it a one Tundra.
I came up with that. That's mine.
No, it's not.
How do you remember that?
Because I got a good memory. Oh, man. Point being, it's about time to wrap it up with the show here, fellas.
Never wrap it up.
Gross.
Not lately, I haven't.
Gross.
Hell yeah.
You should have got the wild turkey first.
Yeah. Closing statement. Outlaw, do you have anything you want to tell the people?
No. Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your fucking hands, you faggots. And then Banana Hammock, got anything left?
If you take out a bank loan, you got to pay that shit back.
Yep. All right. I think we're good. If you want to write into the show, please fucking do, because that email is empty as hell.
Any feed pics lately?
Yeah. If you want to send in feet pics, you can send them in at whiskeydanradio@gmail.com. I will gladly take some feet pics. Male pics too. Oh, fuck it. I don't give a shit.
If you got athlete's foot and toe fungus, definitely.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, so this is coming to you pre-recorded from the Apartment of Inebriation. Once again, we have the Famous Grouse after we've had a couple. How do y'all feel about it?
I like it.
I like it.
Do you think you'd buy it on your own?
Yeah, I'd buy it on my own for sure.
Def.
I mean, I think it was like, I think it was $24, like, out the door. Definitely really good. Comes in a cylindrical bottle, has a big grouse on it. Looks like a little angry little chicken.
And that's not, we didn't talk about that. That's not a bad price point. Like, that's a pretty
Not at all.
average price.
Well, especially
for
like
fifth.
for scotch.
Yeah.
Where'd you
Scotch
get the
is-
ice cube?
The big ice cubes, I bought just the ice tray for them off of Amazon. It's like the 2x2 deal, so you get big ass chunker ice.
Nice.
That being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks again for listening around to the show. We still got stickers available. You can put it on your truck, put it on your dick. I don't care. Buy a sticker.
Hey, I need like 4 of those.
You get one.
I was going to put them around the plant. Advertising.
His work.
Yeah.
Have you ever drank Baileys from a shoe?
I'm hungry! That's pretty good.